Hi there, Jonas here. I'm going to just show you a little bit about a development around the prototype and a new data set and how I'm thinking about this. So this is about democracy development and the way, and I'm going to show you how we can capture, at least start capturing a simple data point to increase our democratic competence. Because usually when people talk about democracy, this is mostly what I hear, that they see it as a way to vote, as a way to have influence, just a certain point in time. Here in Sweden, it's every fourth year that you go and vote for a political party. So this is sort of the mental image with many people about what democracy is all about. Another way to think about democracy is to see it as a skill or a competence. And this is what the European Council has done and created a reference framework of competences for democratic culture, which I think is a much more productive entry point to think about all this. And they have created 4 sort of areas of competences that circles around values, attitudes, skills, and knowledge. And for this demonstration, we're going to focus on knowledge and critical understanding. So knowledge and critical understanding of the self, of language and communication, and of the world: politics, law, human rights, culture, religion, history, media, environment, etc. Because we form our opinions. Obviously, it's a complex framework of input and how we come to a certain conclusion or form our opinions. Predispositions, how we were, how we grew up, where we grew up, in which family, class, etc., etc. And what kind of political involvement we're already part of, what we see as personally relevant, and how we inform, how we process the information that we receive. And this is just one model, but at the heart of it is media use and communication. So this is what I'm going to focus on here, that we have a potential understanding of how we form our opinions based on our media use and interpersonal communication. A common way to describe this is with the term filter bubble, that we sort of inhabit our own little filter bubble. We read certain news sources and we get confirmation from certain sources, and this creates our own little world, a little bubble around ourselves. This is hugely important, isn't it? Because it's part of how we form our opinions and part of our skill and competence to actually form an informed opinion. So this is what this prototype demo is going to show. And I'm going to jump into my iPhone again. So here I am in my iPhone, and let's pretend I'm waking up in the morning. I'm going to check what's going on today. So I'm going to open up my web browser, and let's say I go to Swedish Television, check out what is going on today. Then I get a pop-up that says, asks, you want to save this as a news source? Is this a news source for you? Well, yes, it is. And okay, I'll check that out. Then I'll open up daily news as well. Then I get another question. Is this a news source for you? Yes, it is, actually. I'm going to read that. And then maybe I go to The Guardian, see the international news as well. Okay, a lot of wars and stuff. And the question, is this a news source that you would like to save? Yes, it is. And then maybe I'll go and Hawaii to check the weather. And and then it asks me, do I want to save this as a news source? No, it's not a news source per se. It doesn't affect my opinion very much. Well, depends on how you look at it. So there you go. And then I'll close Safari and come back to the desktop, so to speak, and open up the Best of Worlds app. And I got my authentication already set up, and I'll go into my apps. And here I have a new one, which is called Filter Bubble. Click Filter Bubble. It loads my news sources and sends it to a visualization of my own news sources. So here I see that DN.se is a major one. The Guardian is a major one. SVT is a major one, and a bunch of others. Which means that I have an idea of what news sources are actually influencing my little filter bubble. And I also get a word cloud here with a major news sources. This is useful for me personally to sort of see this could build on day by day. But then you could also take each individual word cloud or filter bubble and add that with other people's bubbles or visualizations, which means that we can dig even further into where, when do people go to get their news. This can obviously be built out in many different ways, but this is a start. Thank you. See you later.